All right, let's talk about the story of Genesis. It's a story we all kind of feel like we know, right? It's probably the oldest creation story out there. For literally centuries, it's been treated like this ancient history book, a record of something that happened way, way back in the past. But what if that's not the whole story? What if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if Genesis isn't just about our past, but it's actually a blueprint for our future? And that really gets to the heart of what we're digging into today. I mean, what if the world's oldest story of creation isn't even finished yet? What if it's not some static, dusty old tale, but a living, breathing process that's still happening right now? And we're a part of it. Okay, let's jump in.
So this is a pretty huge shift in how we look at things. On one hand, you have the traditional way of seeing it, a 6-day event that happened a long, long time ago, a story of what was. But on the other hand, there's this symbolic interpretation. And this view sees it as an ongoing evolutionary blueprint. Not a history book, but a map of what the universe is still becoming.
Now, this whole idea, this reinterpretation, it comes from a framework called the Creation series. And the goal here is pretty ambitious. It's trying to unify science and spirituality. The core idea is that the universe isn't some static thing that was just made. Nope. It's in this constant, dynamic state of, well, becoming. Okay, so to really get our heads around this framework, we've got to start at the beginning. The whole series lays its foundation by taking another look at those 6 days of creation. But here's the twist. It's not talking about literal 24-hour days. Instead, it sees them as these vast, sweeping evolutionary epics that literally chart the history of our physical universe. So, let's dive into that foundation, shall we? The very first book in the series, The Evolutionary History of Creation, asks us to completely reimagine those 6 famous days. So yeah, forget the literal week. We're talking about 6 incredible, magnificent epochs of cosmic evolution.
Right. And this is the key thing to understand. When we say day in this context, we are not talking about a sunrise and a sunset. Not at all. A day here is an evolutionary epoch. It's this massive stretch of time that's defined by some huge, monumental leap forward in complexity and, organization. And this table right here, it's basically a roadmap for this whole physical journey. It's awesome. It maps the 6 days to 6 totally distinct evolutionary leaps. So look, day 1, you've got the Big Bang. Boom, the universe is born, atoms, particles, the whole shebang. Then day 2, you get Earth and the other planets forming, basically setting the stage for life. And then on day 3, life actually shows up. The first cells emerge. Day 4 is when things get really crazy. Life just diversifies into all these complex species. That leads us to day 5, the dawn of mammals, and something new, emotional intelligence. And then finally, day 6, that brings us to humanity, with our consciousness and culture. See how it works? Each step is this massive leap forward, building right on top of the last one. So, day 1. This is the great shattering, the Big Bang. I mean, from this single point of pure potential, everything, all matter, all energy, just explodes into existence. It's the moment the fundamental rules and building blocks of our reality are laid down. Then we get to day 2, and all that raw energy from day 1 starts to organize itself. Out of all that cosmic dust, our amazing planet takes shape. We get oceans, land, and atmosphere. It becomes this perfect little incubator, creating just the right conditions for life. The stage is set. Day 3, honestly, this might be the biggest miracle in the whole story. Down in those primordial oceans, something incredible happens. The inanimate becomes animate. Non-living stuff crosses this unbelievable threshold to become self-replicating. This is it, the common ancestor of every single thing that has ever lived. And then, on day 4, life just explodes. That tiny spark from day 3, it now branches out into countless different forms. Life is innovating, it's adapting, it's conquering new environments. And this is what leads to really complex creatures, like the early reptiles. Now, day 5, this is where we see a fascinating shift from the purely physical outer world to the inner world. With mammals, a whole new kind of intelligence pops up, emotion. And this is a game changer. It allows for social bonds, for learning, for care. For the very first time, consciousness starts to explore what it means to connect. And that, of course, brings us to day 6, humanity.
This is really the culmination of this whole physical journey. We show up with our huge brains, our ability to use tools, language, and create culture. The story of physical creation has for now arrived right here with us. So, okay, that whole 6 epoch journey gets us right up to today. But here's the thing. According to this framework, that entire epic history of physical evolution, that's just the foundation. It's only the stage. Because on that stage, a much, much deeper drama is playing out, the evolution of consciousness itself. And here, you can see how the whole series is structured. It's like building a house. We just walked through part 1, the physical foundation. That's the ground floor. But then the series builds on top of that to explore part 2, the inner architecture, the world of consciousness. And then finally, part 3, the human journey, which is all about the evolution of our society and where we're headed together. And man, those later books, they get into some seriously fascinating stuff. They put forward this idea that consciousness wasn't just some random accident that happened late in the game. Nope, it's been evolving right alongside matter since day one. They also bring in these wild concepts like the karmic economy, this idea of a cosmic system where our actions and intentions are like a currency, shaping how energy and consequences flow. It's all pointing toward humanity's next big evolutionary leap. So, what's the big takeaway here? What does all this mean for us? Well, if creation is really this ongoing process, if it's still happening, then our role in it changes completely. We're not just the end product anymore. We're not just the final chapter of a story that's already been written. Instead, this framework suggests you're standing at this critical threshold. We're moving from being the passive result of creation to becoming, as the source material so powerfully puts it, its active participants. And that's exactly what a conscious co-creator is. It means being an active, aware participant in this incredible cosmic story. It's this powerful idea that humanity is waking up to a brand new capacity, the ability to consciously, intentionally help shape what comes next, the next phase of evolution. So, we end up right back where we started, with a question for you. If Genesis really is a living blueprint, and if creation is still unfolding all around us, that really challenges us to think about our own lives, doesn't it? It's asking us to consider, what's our part in writing the next chapter?